Welcome to NFL Imperialism. You may have seen this concept floating around YouTube, but I wanted to put my own spin on it and hopefully improve it. Before we get started, I humbly ask that you take a moment to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button. This is going to be a series, and this channel has some other videos as well, sports related, entertainment related. We do a lot here, trying to grow the audience. We appreciate the fact that you're here right now. We ask that you continue to stay with us. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you. If you're interested in a full, thorough breakdown of how this imperialism works, please check out the first 3 minutes or so of the 1966 video, which is linked in the description below. Otherwise, we are ready to start. We're at the halfway point of the 1980s, a decade that continues to be dominated by the NFC. 1985 was certainly no exception, with the idea of domination taken to the next level. Whatever supposed platitudes you have heard about the 1985 Chicago Bears are all true, all of them. Quite simply, for a single season, this is the greatest team of all time. They won Super Bowl 20 against the upstart New England Patriots, who do deserve specific mention here. They were not the first wildcard team to make the big game, but they were the first to make it there with 3 playoff victories on the road. To date, this is the last time the Super Bowl was contested by 2 teams making their first appearance in the game. The only way that could now happen is for the Lions to get there and to play either the Browns, Jaguars, or Texans. All that said, the Bears won this game 46-10. Those 10 points represented all the points the Bears allowed that postseason. Like we said, pure dominance. Looking at the rankings for 1985, yes, the Bears rank at the top. Unseen is just how far ahead they are of the pack. Not only is this the biggest gap between first and second in any season, the Bears simply rate out higher than any team in the Super Bowl era. If they don't win this imperialism, it will be because they were the victims of a shocking upset. But that can't happen, and there is a reason such things are decided on the field. So the quest of every other team in 1985 to beat the Chicago Bears is now underway. This is 1985's first spin of the wheel, and it's going to land on an emerging power, the New York Giants. They will head to the east. That's actually going to hit Long Island, territory of the Buffalo Bills. So our lowest ranked team of 1985 will be the first one to take the field. They will get to host the Giants. Being at home did not make a difference. Here in the first quarter, the Giants lead 7-0. This is fullback Rob Carpenter going around the right end. Had some trouble in the backfield, but is able to escape and score the touchdown, putting the Giants ahead 14-0. It didn't get any better than that. Buffalo actually avoids the shutout, but is going to take the loss 43-6. This era in the NFL had some haves and have-nots, and the gap between them was as big as it ever was. The Bills are a have-not, and the Giants are a have. The Giants will take over the Bills' territory, owning now the name and the state of New York. Our first team has been eliminated, and this is not what anybody wanted to see. The Bears are chosen. They go southwest, and our opponent for the Bears will be the St. Louis Cardinals. We just saw the Buffalo Bills, number 1 on the bottom 5 rankings play. The Cardinals were number 2 on that list. Let's see how this one goes. The Cardinals have a chance to get out of the first quarter without allowing a touchdown. This 3rd and short run to Walter Payton, they're all over it, but he's able to get right through them and get into the end zone. This will give the Bears the first score of the game. They lead 7-0. Look away, this did not get any prettier. The Bears crushed the Cardinals with huge second and fourth quarters by a final score of 56-6. We gave Buffalo credit for avoiding the shutout. Let's go ahead and give St. Louis that same credit. They're not able to defend their land by any means, though. The Bears walk right in, make themselves comfortable, knocking the Cardinals out of the game and expanding their land. We head back to the wheel to see who's up next. It's going to be just barely the Houston Oilers. Arrow's going to take them to the west. That is going into the territory of the Dallas Cowboys. Oilers to Cowboys, a game we've seen so many times, but rarely in the other direction. It's still close in the fourth quarter. Dallas leads 14-10, but they're at the edge of the goal line. Danny White will drop back to pass, fires it to his number one wide receiver, Tony Hill, extending the Cowboy lead to 21-10. From here, they're able to pull away for a final score victory of 31-10. Quickly, let's look at the map here. The Cowboys are going to wipe the Oilers off and take over the state of Texas. It must be noted now that this is a milestone victory for the Cowboys, their 50th in Imperialism. No other team has 40. It's also appropriate that they get this victory at home against the bottom 5 Oilers team. It's time for another wheel spin. We're going to be landing on the Raiders. Going to head out west. They're going to go slightly northeast. No game to be played here. The state of Nevada will now fall into their territory. That was this season's first expansion. Let's see if we have another one, or are we going to get a game? It's going to land on the Buccaneers. They will travel to the southeast. We will be getting a game here. Tampa will travel to Miami to face the Dolphins. We're scoreless in the second quarter. The Dolphins are just inside the 20-yard line of Tampa. On second down, Dan Marino fires to the end zone. Mark Clayton has no problem with the defenders on his back, gets up and gets the touchdown, giving Miami the 7-0 lead. Now in the fourth, it's only 13-0. Tampa's defense has done a good job on Miami's offense. They're trying to score inside the 10-yard line. Steve DeBerg holding the ball for too long. He will take the strip sack. Time is ticking away. Miami recovers the fumble. They will hold on to a very low-scoring game for them. 13-0 victory at home against Tampa Bay. We've had the Giants, Bears, and Cowboys on the field in this Imperialism, but none of them were able to pitch the shutout. It was Miami's defense doing the deed. Tampa's offense will help you do that sometimes. They'll take over the state of Florida. Our first 4 games have eliminated 4 of the teams in the bottom 5. Only Atlanta remains. Could they be next on the field? That would be quite interesting. Onwards we go with this wheel. It will be landing on the Seahawks. Guaranteed expansion. They will head slightly to the southeast, not far enough to avoid the state of Oregon. They will be expanding and ending their isolation. We'll go again, and can it be? It is going to hit the Falcons. The arrow will, though, take them east. So no game here for the Falcons. That'll catch the south end tip of South Carolina. They will expand into that state. We go one more time with the wheel here, give it a little bit of a heavier spin. It's going to be landing on the Cincinnati Bengals. They'll head straight north, which will mean they will face their in-state rival, Cleveland Browns, in Cleveland. That game is now. The Browns bring a 14-7 lead into the third quarter. From the 14, this handoff goes to Kevin Mack around right end. Spins around some Bengal defenders, gets into the end zone for the touchdown, extending the Cleveland lead to 21-7. Cincinnati's not going to take that lying down. They drive it down to about the 17-yard line. Boomer Esiason, play action up the middle, will find Chris Collinsworth in the end zone. Cincy will cut the lead down to 21-14. Can they stop Cleveland's running game, which has been going amok in this one? From the 9-yard line, the Browns are in shotgun. Since he brings the defense back, the late handoff goes to Ernest Biner up the middle. He's just short of the end zone, but Kevin Mack will take it in himself. This was the first time in NFL history a team had 2 different players run for 1,000 yards. These guys dominated this one. Cincinnati scored with no time on the clock just to make it look a little closer. The Browns defend their homeland, win this game 28-21. Despite being in-state rivals, the Bengals and Browns haven't matched up too many times in Imperialism. This particular matchup will go to the Browns. The Bengals are out of the game. The Browns now own the entire state of Ohio, and they're moving on. We've now eliminated 5 teams, 4 from the bottom 5. This wheel is going to land on the Chiefs. They will go west to their great relief, avoiding the Bears for now. They will expand into the state of Kansas, ending the Broncos' isolation. This next spin here looks like it's just going to miss the Bears and hit the Colts. But the Colts are going to head southwest into Bears territory. Not what they wanted to see. Colts at Bears is next. Unsurprisingly, it's already 14-0. This will be the last play of the first quarter. Mike Pagel, facing the pressure, tries to squeeze in the pass. It's intercepted by the Bears. Dave Duerson runs it back. This is one of 4 defensive touchdowns scored in this game by the Bears. Colts fans, I'm warning you, cover your eyes. 69-0 is our final score. The Bears just set the new Imperialism record for the largest margin of victory, most points scored, beating the Cowboys' earlier 67-0 victory over the Saints. This was unfair. The Colts were not ready for this, especially not in Chicago. They will, thankfully for them, leave the map. The Bears will continue to expand their land, and woe be unto all the teams that currently border Chicago. We'll go back to the wheel, and we're going to head out west. This is going to land on the Rams. The arrow's going to take them northwest. That will hit the territory of the Raiders. We will now once again have the Battle of Los Angeles. In the fourth quarter, the Raiders are deep in their own territory, trailing 10-7. Mark Wilson fires across the middle, not sure exactly who he was throwing that to. Johnny Johnson of the Rams will pick it off and bring it back in for the touchdown. The Rams will extend their lead to 17-7. The Raiders are still in this. They're a little deeper than they want to be from their own 10-yard line. The handoff will go to Marcus Allen. He will streak into the end zone, giving the Raiders the touchdown they were looking for earlier. They are closer now. It's 17-14. They're going to have to stop the Rams here. The Rams have 3rd and 11 from their own 40-yard line. They're going to play it safe to pitch to Dickerson. He may appear to have the edge, but the Raiders bring him down. They're going to get the ball back. They only need a field goal, minute 3 to go. Wilson has all day, will throw it, and it'll be intercepted again. This time it's Leroy Irvin. The Rams are able to run out the clock. They go into the Raiders' home stadium, win this game 17-14. The Raiders were a good team in 1985. In the jumbled AFC, they were able to come out with the number 1 seed. They lost their first playoff game that season, and in Imperialism, they will also lose their first game. The Rams take over the Raider territory, which includes the expanded Nevada, and compete with Seattle for the largest land in the West. We are 1/4 of the way through this Imperialism. The wheel will land on the Lions. They will head to the southwest, so now they're going to take their turn to challenge the Bears. You can't say these teams are shying away. Maybe being a division rival could help. Lions at Bears is next. With an unstoppable running game and an impenetrable defense, what else could the Bears have up their sleeve? How about an aerial attack? Jim McMahon fires into the end zone. Dennis McKinnon all by his lonesome, making the touchdown catch, extending the Bear lead to 17-0. And this game wound up just kind of like every other Bears game is at this point. They pulled away in the second half. A monstrous 59-0 victory. The 3 teams the Bears have defeated in this Imperialism had a combined 17 wins in 1985. The Bears alone, including the playoffs, had 18. Perhaps more challenges await. In the meantime, the state of Michigan falls into the territory of the Bears, and they have scored over 50 points in every game they've played and not allowed more than 6. Is someone else planning on trying the Bears here? The wheel's going to land on the Rams, a little too far away to hit Chicago. They're going to go northeast, a little further north. They could have actually grabbed Idaho. Instead, their expansion will be into the state of Utah. Attempt number 2 on the wheel in this round is going to be giving us the Kansas City Chiefs. They'll head west, and if that arrow dipped a little further south, they could have expanded into Oklahoma. Instead, they're going to take on their division rival Denver Broncos in the Mile High City. Welcome to the Steve Watson Show. You're watching him catch not 1, not 2, but 3 touchdown passes in the first half. All the scoring of the game to this point, Denver will lead 21-0. He did a lot of damage in between. The Broncos defense did great. Final score of this game, Denver holds their home field 31-14. This will be an interesting landmass for the Denver Broncos. They will take over the Chiefs' territory, and they have sort of a west to east corridor really stretching out their logo. They will move on in the game. Our next matchup is going to be a big one. Let's see what it might be. The Patriots are going to get called up. A likely expansion. They're going to go southwest, and they will indeed expand into the state of Connecticut. Maybe this next spin will get us the game we're looking for. It's going to just get past the Steelers, hit the Browns. They're going to head to the north, and they're going to be the fourth team to take on the Bears. Why is this game so big? Since the beginning of our imperialism, this is now the 500th game, and it could go down in the record books if the Browns can pull off the win. Let's take a look. The Browns are running the ball and playing keep away, and it's keeping the score down. But this punt here by Jeff Gossett is blocked by the Bears. They're going to turn that into a field goal. Now in the second quarter, tell me they're going to block another one here. That punt is off, and it's blocked. And it's going to be Bears football again. This one, they're going to try to turn into 7. From the 12, Jim McMahon's going to find Willie Gault on the stop pattern. He's able to run it in the rest of the way. The Bears, they're in a tight game. They're not used to this in this imperialism. They're going to lead 10-0. Now the Browns are lining up to punt. Tell me the Bears are going to block a third punt. They come after it, but Gossett does get it away. Willie Gault standing around midfield to receive. Gets around a few guys trying to get a good return here. But that ball is popped loose. And the Browns are going to pick it up and run with it. This is their chance to get back into this game. It's taken down. We should mention it's 10-3 here at this point. The Browns are going to kick a field goal. Try to go up 10-6. In come Richard Dent. And it's another blocked kick. Picks it up and runs with it. Oh my goodness. 3 blocked kicks for the Bears. Here in the fourth quarter now, 10-3. The sweep play to Walter Payton. They seem like they've got him, but no, he gets away. Streaks into the end zone to extend the Bear lead to 17-3. Cleveland's going to be forced to air it out some now, and they're doing it okay. They're at about the 21-yard line, second down, just under 2 minutes to go. Bernie Kosar looks for Brian Brennan, and it's intercepted. That is the first turnover of the game for the Browns. Reggie Phillips makes the pick. They turn that into a touchdown. The Bears defense and their special teams really came out in this one as they have done. And they're going to win the game by a much smaller margin for them of 24-3. Let's take a look at the map here. The state of Ohio is going to fall to the Chicago Bears. And in our 500th imperialism game, no better team perhaps than the 85 Bears to pick up that victory. 10 teams have now been eliminated, 4 alone by the Bears. The wheel will select the 49ers here. They're going to head southeast into the territory of the Rams. That's going to be our next game. Well, we got through 500 overall games, and then game 501 got messed up. That said, we got the result. The 49ers did win it by a score of 27-13. Jerry Rice, 142 yards in his imperialism debut. As a 49er fan, I wanted to show that. Unfortunately, that didn't work out here. With the 49er victory, they're going to now take all that land that the Rams have acquired to this point for their own. They are the heavyweight in the West, and, as is the case throughout the rest of the 80s, will be a threat to win imperialism. We come back with another spin of the wheel. It's going to be close between the Broncos and the Giants. It's the Giants. They'll be heading to the northeast. That's going to give them an expansion into the state of Vermont. Let's spin it one more time here. It's going to be landing on the Redskins. It won't land on the Patriots. The wheel doesn't like the Patriots. They're going to head east, and they're actually going to get an expansion here into Delaware. Maybe the third time is going to be the charm. It's another close call that's just going to skip past the Falcons, hit the 49ers. They're going to head northwest. That's going to send them into Seattle for another matchup between these two teams. In a low-scoring defensive struggle, the 49ers know exactly what to do. Montana will drop back, throw it to Jerry Rice. This is Rice's first touchdown in Imperialism. We suspect he might score a few more over the years. The Niners take a 7-3 lead here in the third quarter, facing 3rd and goal back at the 14. The other wide receiver gets in on the action. Dwight Clark catches that ball in front of the end zone, runs it in. The 49ers will take a 14-3 lead from here, and that's going to be all she wrote. They're able to invade for a second time in this Imperialism and come out with a win over the Seahawks, 14-3. The Seahawks are in a similar situation to the Oilers were in the late 70s. They're a very good football team, but their nearest neighbor is kind of at a different level. The Seahawks have only been able to win one game in all of Imperialism, against the Niners incidentally. They go down here despite having a great team. The 49ers will pick up their land, and except for the Chargers, own pretty much everything in the West. We've been getting a lot of the same teams. Let's see about getting somebody new. I think the wheel agreed. It gives us the Jets. They will head north. So now we're going to get the Battle of New York / New Jersey, however you want to refer to it. The Jets and the Giants is next. The Giants waste no time crossing midfield. They're at the Jet 41-yard line. Phil Simms is going to look deep to Lionel Manuel, makes the catch in stride and breaks the plane in the end zone, giving the Giants a quick touchdown and a 7-0 lead. We're going to move on to the second quarter now. Same score, the Jets at the Giant 22-yard line. Ken O'Brien, standing tall in the pocket, looks to the back of the end zone to Wesley Walker. That's going to tie things up at 7 apiece. The Jets are going to take a 10-7 lead at half. Now the Giants are looking to at least tie this game. Phil Simms is going to get taken down by Joe Klecko, leading to a field goal. It is now 10-10. Pat Ryan in the game for an injured Ken O'Brien. Here from the 3-yard line, all he needs to do is hand it off to Freeman McNeil. Breaks the plane, giving the Jets a 17-10 lead. They're going to get the ball back with that same lead. They're trying to run the clock out, but it's 3rd and 16. That's going to force Ryan to throw this pass. Tries to squeeze it into Walker, but it's intercepted just inside the 50. That is Herb Walsh. He gets away from a couple of guys. They're holding him up, but he breaks free, and he's going to get the pick 6 here with just under 2 minutes to go. Very big play. The Giants' offense hasn't done much since that opening touchdown. 17-16. Here comes the extra point. Don't tell me the Jets are going to block this. They block it. The Giants are going to have to kick an onside kick. That ball is loose, but it's recovered by Johnny Hector of the Jets. They wind up scoring a touchdown and winning this game 24-16. Very quietly, the Jets are actually the number 2 ranked team in our overall rankings. The Bears are so far ahead of everybody else, it's easy to go unnoticed. They go ahead and they go into the Giants' territory, not necessarily their stadium, it's the same stadium. They win this game, take over that land, and they've got a nice chunk of land for themselves now. We're going to go through an expansion run here. This wheel is going to just catch the Vikings. This southwest arrow is going to give us a photo finish. They will expand into Iowa. Next up on the wheel will be the Chicago Bears. They're going to head southeast, expanding into Kentucky. The Bears are going to be chosen again. They're going to head to the east, and this time they're going to expand into West Virginia. Next on the wheel will be the Chargers. They're going to head east, dodge the 49ers, hit Arizona, expand there. And now we're going to get the Packers. They're going to head southwest. No more expansion here. This is going to be a game in Minnesota. Packers at Vikings. Green Bay leads 14-0 late in the first half on the edge of the Viking goal line. Lynn Dickey's going to drop back to pass. Looks for Jesse Clark, makes a diving catch in the end zone. Incredible play by him, makes it 21-0. Went back and forth from here. The Packers cruised to a fairly easy victory, 35-17. The Vikings simply aren't the force in Imperialism they used to be. That defense that they used to have is long gone. The Packers successfully invade their territory, pick up their land, and move on in the game. We've now eliminated half the teams from 1985 Imperialism. A close call will go to the Packers on the wheel here. Arrow's going to take them southwest. There's not much room to hit the Broncos territory, but that's just what they do. Green Bay at Denver, interesting game coming up next. Denver trailing 3-0 in the second quarter, but they're at the 4-yard line. First and goal, handoff goes to Sammy Winder. He cuts through the middle, gets into the end zone, giving Denver a 7-3 lead. Now before the half is over, they're going to get the ball back one more time. They're just at around the 44 of the Packers. John Elway fires to Vance Johnson, picks up about 20 yards, sets up a field goal. It's 10-3. That is now our score in the second half. Packers have it. Lynn Dickey, play action, fires a deep pass, and that is caught by Phil Epps. Diving catch leads to a field goal, 10-6. Now it's 10-9. Denver has the ball. The handoff goes to Winder. He is fighting for yards, but Charles Martin is going to force that fumble. The Packers pick it up. It is now 2nd and 8 from just inside the 20-yard line. Lynn Dickey's going to loft it past the defender, leaping up to try to make a play. Can't do it. That's James Lofton getting the touchdown. The Packers get back into the lead, 16-10. Denver's driving from inside the 40. It's 3rd and 3. Handoff goes to Steve Sewell, and he can't get anywhere. It's late in the game. A field goal is not going to do anything. Denver's going to go for it. Will they try to run it again, or might they let Elway throw the ball? Here's the play. It's a run up the middle to Sewell. It's close. Here comes the measurement. First down. Denver has new life. It's now 2nd down. From the 35, Elway drops back, throws to Steve Watson, extending to make the catch. 1st and goal inside the 10. Very next play, officially from the 8-yard line. Elway on the comebacker to Watson. Touchdown, Denver. Steve Watson's had a good Imperialism run here. This will tie the game at 16. Rich Carlos coming out for the extra point, the all-important extra point. No pressure, no problem. It's 17-16. Now Green Bay with a chance to respond from their own 39. Lynn Dickey drops back. He's going to throw it deep to James Lofton. He dives, but it's incomplete. After back-to-back sacks, it's now 4th and 25. Dickey has time. Spots Paul Kaufman open in the middle. Can he pick up the yards he needs? He does not. What a game here. Denver's going to hold on and win it 17-16. This season and last season has seen a lot of blowouts in Imperialism. A lot of very high-quality teams playing some not-so-great teams. Not what we had here. The Packers and the Broncos were fairly even matched. The Broncos at home are able to win. They take over the Packers' territory, and this is probably the most land Denver's ever had in any Imperialism. It's expansion time again. The wheel selects the Patriots. They're going to head to the southeast, the smallest expansion available. They get Rhode Island. The Bears are coming up next on the wheel. They're going to head south. They're going to take the state of Tennessee. Coming up next on the wheel will be the 49ers, just barely. Heading up to the northeast, grabbing the state of Idaho. And now we're going to hit, for the first time in the game, the Steelers. They're going to head to the northwest, but that's actually going to catch the territory of the Jets. Pittsburgh at New York next. The Jets lead 14-7 in the second quarter. Ken O'Brien is play action. The Steelers look to have him in the backfield, but O'Brien won't go down. He's still not going down. He breaks free and just fires deep all the way to the back of the end zone where Wesley Walker was waiting for it. What a great play by O'Brien. The Jets actually stomped Steelers in this game, but that play had to be seen to be believed. Walker had 253 receiving yards. The Jets win 63-10. I suppose there's a reason the Jets had the number 2 ranking. They joined the Bears as having put up a 60-plus point performance in this Imperialism. They will take over the Steelers' land, and their land is kind of looking like an amoeba going after both the Eagles and the Redskins. Let's get in a couple more expansions here. The Bears first will head south. A photo finish misses Atlanta's territory. They'll expand into Alabama. Up next is the Cowboys. They're going to head to the northwest. That's going to hit New Mexico. And now it's going to be the Chargers. They're going to head northeast. They had no choice. They had to play a game. They're going to be heading to San Francisco to play the 49ers. The 49ers lead 14-0 in the third quarter. They're in Charger territory. Joe Montana beats the defender just as Jerry Rice does. What a great pass, great catch, great run after for the touchdown. This was a close to the vest game. The 49ers blow it open. Scoreless at the end of the first quarter. They wind up beating the Chargers 42-12. If there was any doubt before, the 49ers can now lay claim to kings of the West Coast. They take over the Chargers' land, and they have everything touching the Pacific Ocean and most everything touching the Rocky Mountains. We're getting closer and closer to the end of this season's imperialism. The Falcons are chosen on the wheel. They're going to go northwest. Not enough border there with Chicago. They're going to hit North Carolina, expand their land, and they continuously, smartly, avoid having to play the Bears. The next team up on the wheel will be the Saints. Welcome to the game, New Orleans. They're going to head northwest, and they're going to have to play the Cowboys in Dallas. The Saints trail 7-3 in the second quarter, looking to get this 50-yard field goal. Morton Anderson lines it up perfectly, but the Cowboys will block it and pick it up and run with it. They're out past the 40, breaking a tackle, getting it to the 25. 2 plays later, it's 1st and goal. Under a minute to go in the half. Danny White's going to look for Tony Hill. He'll make the catch, gets taken down, but he's in the end zone. The Cowboys extend to a 14-3 lead. They run up the score in the fourth quarter, putting 21 on the board, winning this game 35-3. Just another imperialism where the Cowboys get to play the Oilers and the Saints, both at home. The Cowboys win the game, take the Saints off the map, and continue on in imperialism. Only 10 teams remain in 1985's imperialism. One of those teams is the Broncos. They're on the wheel, and this is an incredible photo finish. It seemed almost impossible from this angle for them to hit the Cowboys' territory, but hit it they did, and they're going to be traveling to Dallas now to take them on. It's been a defensive struggle, but the Broncos are looking to break through. This handoff up the middle to Gerald Wilhite breaks a tackle, scores the touchdown. The Broncos led 7-3 before that. They're going to lead 14-3 after it. They tack on a few more, doing a fourth quarter Cowboy style, winning this game by a score of 23-3. The 1985 Broncos were the first team to ever go 11-5 and miss the playoffs. It's only ever happened one time since. They beat the Cowboys, they take them off the map. This is the first imperialism that the Broncos have ever won 2 games, and here they've just won a third. Fewer and fewer names remain on the wheel. It will select the Denver Broncos. They're going to head to the northeast, continue gobbling up land, taking the state of Nebraska. We try this wheel again, and it's going to be somebody we haven't heard from in a while, the Miami Dolphins. They will head straight north. So, they're going to be taking on the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta. Let's take a look at that game. Atlanta's built a 14-3 lead here in the first half. Miami's going to look to cut into that before halftime. Play action, Marino flips it to Woody Bennett for the touchdown. Huge play that will lower the deficit as we go into halftime. It's 14-10. Miami's since taken the lead. They lead 17-14. Atlanta's looking to make something happen. That ball is out. It's a strip sack. It's picked up by Miami's Bob Brzezinski. I hope I said that correctly. He runs it back in for the touchdown. Miami extends its lead to 24-14. They never looked back from this point. It was a little touch and go for them, but a dominant second half leads to the 38-14 Dolphin victory. The first 4 games of this season's Imperialism saw all bottom 5 teams get eliminated. The Atlanta Falcons have held on to this point, not needing to play. That's no longer the case. The Dolphins take the Falcons off the map. All of our bottom 5 teams have been eliminated, and of the 8 teams remaining, all top 5 teams are still there. And which of these 8 teams will the wheel select? It's going to be the Patriots, and they're going to head to the Southwest, hitting the territory of the Jets. A battle of top 5 teams and a rematch of 1985's AFC wildcard game. The Jets in total control, picking up where they left off against the Steelers. Play action up the middle. Ken O'Brien finds guess who? Wesley Walker for the touchdown. The Jets extend their first half lead to 21-7. They'll add a field goal, make it 24-7. The Patriots facing 4th and 31. The Jets will just get a stop here, put this game away. The rush comes. Eason stands in the pocket, finds tight end Lynn Dawson. How do the Jets give up 4th and 31 right there? This gives the Patriots life. From the 12, Tony Eason drops back, faces the pressure, but gets the pass off to Tony Collins. He's able to run it in the rest of the way for the touchdown. Just like that, it's 24-14. The Jets will have the ball from their own 23-yard line. Going for the same play action, but that ball is out. Andre Tippett had his breakout season here. Gets the strip sack, and the Patriots have the ball right back. It's now 3rd and 14. This seems manageable compared to 4th and 31. Again, they find Lynn Dawson, and he gets it down inside the 5-yard line. 1st and goal from the 3. Eason makes the pitch to Tony Collins. He hurdles his way into the end zone. This game looked like it was being locked away, and now it's 24-21. The Jets need to hang on. They have the ball at their own 40. They hand off to Freeman McNeil. Beats the defenders to the edge, hurdles over, picks up some big yards. Gets himself down to about the 27. Very next play, 2:15 to go. Up the middle, fake, pitch to McNeil. And he has just decided, I am taking this game over. Runs it in for the touchdown. That gives the Jets the breathing room they're going to need. 31-21, but don't count the Patriots out. Here they come from their own 48, minute 43 to go. Eason getting forced out, and this pass goes to Irving Fryer. Dives, makes the catch, gets down to about the 24. Minute 25 left. Eason drops back, looks for Craig James, cuts in the middle, hurdles his way inside the 5-yard line. These Patriots will not go away. Minute 7 to go. The pitch to Tony Collins. He has daylight. His 3rd touchdown of the 4th quarter. The Patriots are going to have a chance here. They're actually going to go for 2 and miss. 31-27. Here's the onside kick. If they can get this. Oh, but they don't. And it's Freeman McNeil, of all people, picking it up. And he's going to try to run this back. He won't go down. He finally does. And the Jets went from winning this game in a laugher to winning it in a squeaker. The Patriots show their mettle, but ultimately fall 31-27. Wild game, that one. Our first top 5 team now has been eliminated. The Patriots, defending AFC champions, were 5th in the rankings. It took another top 5 team to do it, though. The Jets take over the Patriots' land. They extend their territory, and right now, of all the teams in the Northeast, they're the only ones who have played a game. Only a quarter of the NFL teams still remain. The wheel's going to land on the Bears, not something anybody wants to see, and the Broncos are going to be in that category now because the Bears are invading Denver. This is going to be our next game. There's a couple of things missing in Tecmo Super Bowl III that exist in the real NFL. Number 1, teams don't take their starters out. They just go full bore all the way. And there are no kneel downs. Every play is considered a play. So when a team takes a lead like the Bears do, 17-0 into the half, get really going in the 3rd quarter, the game can spiral out of control. That's what happened here. The Bears go into Denver, put up another half century on them, winning this game 55-0. So while the Bears have been winning lots of games and doing some expansion, they haven't had a big land grab. They do now. They take over the Broncos territory. They are right smack dab in the center of this map. They're everybody's bullseye. 6 teams now remain. Our top 4 teams and 2 teams that haven't played at all, the Eagles and the Redskins. The Eagles have actually not been called into action at all. With 6 teams remaining, the wheel will select the Jets. They're going to head to the northeast, so that's going to be an expansion further on into New England. They grab the state of Vermont. We'll try the wheel for a second time this round. It won't hit the Jets again. That's going to go to the Dolphins. They're going to head to the west. That's going to be into the state of Alabama under the control of the Chicago Bears. Now, this is an interesting game. The 1985 Bears did not go undefeated, including the playoffs that went 18-1. The one game they lost was Week 13 with a 12-0 record in Miami. Lots of members of the 1972 undefeated team were on the sideline that day. Can the Bears avenge that victory here in Imperialism? Miami scored first in this game, giving the Bears their first deficit in Imperialism. Chicago now leads 14-7. Jim McMahon takes off from the pocket and is able to run it all the way in for the touchdown. That extends the Bear lead early in the second half to 21-7. The Bears controlled it the rest of the way. Miami scored late to make it 35-14, our final score. Not only did Miami get the lead on the Bears, they're also the first team to even get to double digits. This game was in Chicago, unlike that regular season game in Miami. The Bears are able to win it. They take Miami off the map, further expanding their land into the southeast of the United States, and once again look like the absolute team to beat. We're 4 games away from crowning 1985's champion. The wheel will pick the Redskins. It's been a while. They're going to expand again, though, going southeast, hitting the Delmarva Peninsula, and taking the state of Virginia. We'll look to the wheel again to find it's going to land on the 49ers. They're going to head to the northeast, also going to be an expansion. That is the state of Montana. Might this be the spin that gets us a game? It's going to land on the Bears. They do like to play. They're going to head southeast. So the Redskins just picked up Virginia, and now the Bears are going to invade it. Bears or Redskins is next. For a Bears game, this is actually kind of close. 24-3 in the fourth quarter. The Bears are driving. Jim McMahon faces some pressure, dumps it off to Walter Payton. He's able to do the rest. To this day, in the year 2023, Walter Payton still is the all-time Bears leader in receptions. From 31-3, the game got out of hand. The Bears do what they do and dominate, winning the game 45-3. With this game, the Bears now have 7 victories in this season's Imperialism. Several teams are tied for the record with 8. They're guaranteed at least one more game. Who might that be against? In the meantime, the state of Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware fall to the Bears as they continue expanding their land. Our top 3 teams and the Eagles still remain. The Eagles won't get chosen on this wheel. That's the Bears. They're going to head east, slightly northeast either way. That is going to hit the territory of the New York Jets, number 1 at number 2. The Bears take their opening drive down the field. They're at the Jet 28. The Jets back their defense up. Jim McMahon hangs in the pocket, lets it go at the last second. A perfect pass over the defender to Dennis McKinnon. When they can throw the ball like this, they're really unstoppable. 7-0 Chicago. New York trying to get something going here. They're down to 2nd and 18. Otis Wilson breaks off the edge. Strip sacks Ken O'Brien. Richard Dent will pick it up, take it down to the 22. Later in the drive, the Bears are at the 1. McMahon's going to drop back the pass and finds Willie Gault in the back of the end zone. That'll give Chicago a 14-0 lead. And with this defense, that lead was perfectly secure. Bears go on the road and take care of business with relative ease, 31-3. With the Eagles not having been selected yet, the Bears will take over the Jets' territory and completely envelop them. What the Bears have just done with this victory now is tie the all-time record with 8 wins. Their next game, and they will of course have a next game, will tie the 1968 Colts for most games played. The Colts lost that game. Is there any chance the Bears can do the same? Where might this final 3 take us? The wheel's finally going to land on the Eagles. No need to spin the arrow. They're surrounded by the Bears. They're going to go to Chicago. What this is going to do is put the reigning champion 49ers back in the Imperialism title game. And it only seems right that the Eagles didn't accidentally make this championship game. If they do so, they should win this game. Otherwise, Bears-Niners would be the legitimate title game. All that said, we've got a game to play. Philly at Chicago. The Bears only lead by 3 in the third quarter. They actually trail at the end of 1. Jim McMahon's going to drop back, float a pass to Dennis McKinnon. He goes up, makes the catch. Is he going to score? Almost. Gets to the 3-yard line. Very next play, the sweep goes to Walter Payton. He gets in for the touchdown. And for the first time in this game, the Bears might be feeling a little comfortable. They lead 20-10. The Eagles are attacking now. Rookie backup quarterback Randall Cunningham is in the game for an injured Ron Jaworski. Tries to force a pass. It gets picked off by Reggie Phillips. He breaks free from a tackle, gets it down to about the 7-yard line. A couple of plays later, from the 6, the handoff goes to Walter Payton. Drags him into the end zone for a touchdown. It was actually touch and go for a little while for Chicago here, but they lead 27-10, and as is their wont, they completely pull away by the end, winning by a final score of 50-10. What we have here is now a dream scenario championship game. The 84 champion 49ers, the Super Bowl champions as well, against the Super Bowl champions of 85 and the favorites to win this Imperialism, the Chicago Bears. We got to spin this wheel to find out where this game's going to be played, but this game's going to happen. And here is that spin of the wheel that will send the 49ers to Soldier Field. Enough preview, enough talking. 49ers at Bears, 1985's Imperialism Championship game is next. The 49ers are moving the ball on their opening drive, approaching midfield. Joe Montana is going to force a pass to Wendell Tyler. It's intercepted by Gary Fensick, and he is off to the races. The Bears offense has yet to touch the ball, and they're going to go ahead and take a 7-0 lead. Gary Fensick played the pass perfectly, ran it back 57 yards. Now in Super Bowl 20, Walter Payton famously did not get to score a touchdown in that game. Well, here in the Imperialism Championship game, he scores that touchdown. He's going to score this touchdown. We're still in the first quarter, and the Bears have jumped out to a 21-0 lead. Field goals the rest of the way. The Bears pitched a shutout against the 49ers, 30-0. When we began this Imperialism, we said it would take something special to knock these Bears out. Nobody was able to provide that, not surprisingly. The Bears set all kinds of Imperialism records. They've played 10 games, a record. They've won all 10 games, a record. They scored in those 10 games 454 points, a record. They only allowed 39 points. Their average victory was 45.4 to 3.9. Unbelievable. The Chicago Bears, worthy champions of 1985 Imperialism. Super Bowl 20 between the Bears and the Patriots was essentially a non-contest. Most of Chicago games that season fit that bill as well. This Imperialism was no different. The championship game between the Bears and the 49ers ran just about the same, with the Bears somewhat stunningly shutting out the Bill Walsh-led 49ers offense. Many believe that the 1985 Chicago Bears are the greatest single-season team of all time. I count myself among that group. This is that team. On offense, the centerpiece is Walter Payton, the greatest, most well-rounded running back in NFL history. But he was also surrounded by exceptional talent that coalesced into a powerful unit. However, this unit does not compare to this unit, the defense. Ironically, William the Refrigerator Perry was probably the most well-renowned member of that defense, but he was also probably its weakest link, so to speak. The other members of this starting 11 deserve mention by name. Richard Dent, Steve McMichael, Dan Hampton, Wilbur Marshall, Mike Singletary, Otis Wilson, Leslie Frazier, Mike Richardson, Gary Fensick, and Dave Duerson. Every single one of those players were legitimate NFL superstars, and such a collection of talent has never, ever been assembled since. The story of haves and have-nots during the 1980s continued in this season's Imperialism, with lots of one-sided scores. Not all of them though. We had 3 one-score games in the first half, and the second half of games saw scintillating matchups between the Broncos and Packers and the Patriots and Jets. But let's not fool ourselves. This Imperialism was all about the Chicago Bears and the Chicago Bears alone. As we mentioned earlier, the Bears broke records by going 10-0 in this season, with only the 49ers, Broncos, and Jets able to pull off 3 victories. 18 different teams went one and done, a byproduct of the dominance of the teams at the top. Not much changing on the top of the overall standings, other than the Cowboys crossing the 50-win threshold. The 49ers and the Bears pulled themselves into winning records. The Bears were once 1-10 in Imperialism and entered the 1984 season with a 7-18 overall record to now stand at 21-19. What a turnaround. Every team now with a winning record has won at least one Imperialism. Thank you so much for checking out this video. It was always the Bears' game to lose, but it was sure fun watching them win it all. If you could take a moment to like this video, share it with some friends, and subscribe to the channel, that would be greatly appreciated. Just like we did after our 10th Imperialism, we will be taking a hiatus from this series here at the end of the 20th. Instead of a couple of weeks though, we will be returning after the conclusion of the 2023 NFL season. I want to take this moment to thank everyone who has watched this Imperialism video and any of the other 19 that we've put out. These videos are a labor of love, but they are a labor. Football content during football season that doesn't relate to that season gets lost in the shuffle a little too easily, but rest assured, we will be returning in mid to late February, picking up right where we left off in 1986. In the meantime, the channel will continue pumping out other content that I hope you will be around for. If you haven't done so already, I humbly ask that you would consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the bell icon for notifications so you don't miss out on that other content. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate your consideration. Thank you. We will take one last look at this map and the crowning of 1985's champion, the Chicago Bears. What a team. Just what a team. Thank you all again so very much. I hope you have an awesome day.